3 feet, you can see it would be coming up my shins up towards my waist. This could be enough to knock you off your feet. It could even float some cars that could be parked on the side of the roadway. This is extremely dangerous, but once we get up into that 6-foot range, look at how high this water goes. Winds pick everything up. Cars would be floating at this point. This water's over my head. I wouldn't be able to stand here, even withstand the force of the water coming in. There might even be dangers like chemicals and exposed power lines lurking in the waters. But once we get to that 9-foot range, this is an absolute life-threatening scenario. This water is through the first floor of your home into the second. You can see there's fish floating around in here. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. So if you find yourself here, please get out. If you're told to go, you need to go. Listen to those local officials and make sure you heed the advice if told to do so.
Similar, and were not clearly marked. The driver connected his truck's sulfuric acid hose to the sodium hypochlorite line, and sulfuric acid began flowing inside. He then returned to the cab of his truck. Shortly before 8 a.m., a greenish-yellow gas began flowing from the bulk tank of sodium hypochlorite. The driver noticed the cloud in his truck's side view mirror and attempted to return to the connection area to turn off the flow of sulfuric acid, but the gas overwhelmed him. He then ran to the passenger side of the truck to close a valve that could halt the flow, but he was prevented from doing so by the gas. Instead, he ran away from the cloud and escaped to a separate area of the facility. At about the same time, toxic gases entered the facility control room through the building's ventilation system. MGPI operators, preparing for shift change in the control room, were immediately overcome by the toxic gas. Because the operators had a practice of locking respirators between shifts, some were unable to access their respirators before evacuating the building, with no other way to stop.
And extremely dry with dew points in the teens with winds getting stronger. Now, believe it or not, more than 80% of wildfires start because of human activity. Often it's a stray ember from an unattended campfire or a tossed cigarette that can ignite a firestorm. And it doesn't take much and can spread quickly. Now, climate trends warn that these fires will continue to be more intense and burn longer than just a few decades ago. Now, the smoke itself is hot and races high into the sky, becoming visible for miles. So let's get above that smoke for a better view. Unfortunately, the strong winds are really giving these flames life. In fact, by the looks of it, this fire is spreading at ludicrous speeds and becoming an unstoppable firestorm. Fires like this one can consume